Alright, welcome to video 3 of this series. Timothy conducted an experiment as shown below. Okay, before that, again, I would like to repeat what you can do, what you need to do. Read, identify concepts, highlight the important words. So let's read it. Let's read this together. Timothy conducted an experiment as shown below. So first, Timothy put a worm, this is an earthworm, inside of the tray, and shone a light onto it. Okay, and there's a black cardboard. We know that this does not allow light to pass through, and so there's a moist paper here, and we know that worms really like moist environment. It cannot live in a very dry place, it will die. And after 5 minutes, what happened is that the worm moved from point A to point B. So you can see that the worm moved from point A to point B, away from the light into the darker part of the tray. Alright, so he placed a worm inside on side A of the tray and shone a light over it. After 5 minutes, the worm moved towards B, as shown in the diagram above. Okay, so Timothy concluded that the worm moved away from the light as it prefers a moist and dark environment. So Timothy's conclusion shows that living things can do what? Alright, so we have, if I were you, I'll highlight the light. I'll highlight from A, and I'll use a pencil to show that it's moved from A to B, and so on, right? And we know that it is again testing you about living things, because you can see the word living things here. I'll highlight. If I were you, I'll highlight the word living things here, right? This is an important thing. Shows that living things can do what? We know that living things need air, food, and water. Alright, we know that living things can grow, reproduce, and respond to changes. Now, does this experiment show you that living things need air, food, and water? In my opinion, it doesn't, because it doesn't show any food being eaten. It doesn't show any air being used up, or if the worm is deprived or not given air. Yeah, it does need water. But the amount of water doesn't change. Okay, so there's moist paper here and there's another moist paper here. It doesn't show that the moist paper changed. It still remains moist. The only difference that you can compare these two setups, or what happened after 5 minutes, is that the worm moved from A to B. Alright, that's the only change. So from A, you can see that the worm moved to B. Alright, as shown in this diagram here. Alright, so I don't think this is what the question is looking for. It's not about living things needing air, food, or water. How about the other 3 things that living things can do? Living things can grow, reproduce, and respond to changes. But in this case, it doesn't show the earthworm growing. It doesn't show the earthworm reproducing, but it does show the earthworm responding to changes. Alright, that means the earthworm does not like the light. It responds by moving away from it. Alright, so that's the answer there. Okay, so in my opinion, it is testing you about what living things can do. In this case, the living things responded to the light and moved away. Alright, so it's very easy for you to just replay the video if you didn't understand what I've said, and then you'll see whether you've understood the concepts when you are tested on this in class later. Thank you.